Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the NLBC News, where we bring you the best stories about Oreos and zombie fungi, but butcher all the words. In today's episode we will be discussing AI, holograms, folding pasta, and googly eye buoys. So without further ado, let's get to our first story. Sony patents an AI bot that will play your games for you. Gamers around the world rejoice as they no longer have to worry about playing games. Ever buy a game only to play it once? Have a long list of games you've been meaning to get to? Daily gacha missions taking up all your time? Soon all your troubles will be solved. Following the success of their newest console, the PS5, and its immense game library, Sony broadens its horizons and has published a patent for an AI whose sole purpose is to play games for you. That's right, no longer will your free time be taken up by your favourite pastime. No more will you need to spend hours a day playing games with your friends or get tilted by chat backseating. Who would want to do that? Here's how the AI works. Turn it on and start playing your favourite game. The bot will then gather data on your playstyle and mimic it the best it can. This is so you don't have to worry about losing your hard stuck gold rank in League of Legends or forgetting to roll those 100 boxes for the new event costume in Girls Frontline. The features of this bot don't stop there. Just like your best friend, if it sees you having trouble, it will ask if you're done being a noob and offer its assistance while still being just as bad. What does this bot mean for the future of gaming? Like farmers before them, are gamers soon to be relics of the past with machines taking over most of their responsibilities? Or will their newly acquired free time allow them to become the woke masters of the world that they claim to be from behind their screens within their caretaker's lower floor facility? Only time will tell. Alright, so, moving on to our next story today. Since the dawn of anime, otaku have always had one dream: to bring their 2D waifus to life. From Miku Alexa to VTubers, the age of waifus has never been closer. And now, groundbreaking research has begun at Brigham Young University on what are called free-floating holograms. These holographic images are able to be projected into 3D space without the aid of a screen or special glasses. Soon your waifu will be able to leave the confines of her virtual projector and into your loving arms. Just how do these holograms work? One of the main problems of today's holograms is that the image must be projected, usually from a single source onto a single surface, which means if you block the projector or move around the surface, the image disappears. To overcome this, the researchers have placed small lasers all around the area which manipulate opaque particles in the air. If one laser cannot project onto the particle because it is blocked by the user, a different one will take over. This allows a person to fully interact with the hologram at any angle, even though you can't touch it, because it's a hologram. While it's too early to tell whether this research will be able to be used to bring our waifus to life, it might be a good idea to start investing in KFC stock, because if these holograms take off, expect the sales of KFC Christmas buckets to reach an all-time high as this technological breakthrough will allow more otaku to spend the holidays with their beloveds. And now on to our third story for today. Building food for the future. Researchers discover a way to create IKEA-like pasta. Almost everyone these days has had the unfortunate experience of building IKEA furniture. An arduous and soul-crushing experience where you spend all day trying to discern poorly written instructions and decoding exploding view diagrams that make even the most experienced of CAD designers tremble. What if this was applied to food, though? What if you needed to build your own stromboli by fitting pepperoni B4 to bread A2? Well, that would be terrible. luckily, this is not what this IKEA food is like. Researchers from Carnegie Mellon University's Morphing Matter Lab, that's a mouthful, says that folding food can be made and applied to foods like pasta. Now first we must ask, why is self-folding pasta an attractive way to package pasta? The answer to that is packaging space. Everyone has experienced buying a bag of crisps and opening them to find out that 60% of the bag was compressed air, and the other 40% was crispy goodness. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, food packaging waste is a major contributor to landfills in the United States. This new packaging method would allow shaped pasta to be flat packed and could reduce packaging space needed by 60%. The researchers achieved this reduction in space by taking a flat noodle which is large enough to become the desired shape after cooking. They then carefully etch grooves into the noodle, and as the flat pasta noodle is cooked in boiling water, the grooves cause the noodle to bend and shape itself in certain ways to achieve the desired shape. This means that in the amount of time it takes to boil pasta till al dente, 7 to 12 minutes, that flat noodle could transform itself into a macaroni noodle while saving package space in the boxing. Going forwards, the researchers planned to test this technique on more complicated 3D shapes and possibly apply this technique to other food as well. While this method of food space saving may be efficient and could revolutionize the packaging industry, do keep an eye out for the Mighty Morphing Noodle Rangers live action show coming out in 2025. It must be noted that this is not a real show, but I'm sure Hasbro will get on it. And moving to our final story for today. Googly eyes to the rescue. Floating googly eyes on a stick scare seabirds away from fishing nets. Scarecrows are a common tactic used to deter birds and other animals from entering farming fields, the haunting doll-like creatures scaring away birds, but also attracting children to their death in the tall grass. But a field of delicious vegetables is not the only place where birds get themselves in trouble. Oceans and bodies of water are similar. Fishing grounds are a popular attraction for seafaring birds, but humans also find these fishing grounds attractive as well. Fishers will commonly put vertical nets in the water to trap fish and other aquatic species. But due to their proximity to the surface, diving birds looking for food can get caught as well and drown, which is not the intention. So what do you do when trying to deter birds from dive bombing to a watery grave? Well, you put big freaking googly eyes on a buoy that would scare away even some humans. And a group of researchers have done just that. Researchers at the BirdLife International Marine Programme in Glasgow, UK, have developed and tested a method of turning buoys into marine scarecrows with the use of large, and when I say large, googly eyes on sticks. Researchers previously hoped that LED lights would alert seabirds of the nets hidden under the water, but the birds ended up getting tangled anyways. The team of researchers thought, noticing that digital moving eye screens used to scare away birds at airports were quite effective at keeping the skies clear. So the researchers decided to iterate on the technology and fitted different sized googly eyes on a carbon rod connected to a buoy that would move with the wind. On one side would be large googly eyes almost the size of basketballs, and on the other would be some around the size of softballs. So, as the wind blew, the birds would see this almost wandering eye effect that seemed to change size at random like some weird stick figure on crack. After a test that spanned 62 days, and recorded the number of birds around the buoy's place and testing location for 4 hours a day, The results show that the number of birds spotted reduced by up to 25% within a 50-meter radius of the buoys. So next time you're out on the ocean and happen to run across one of these, do not be alarmed. It is not actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf, but indeed the stick version. And with that, we have concluded our last story for today. Thank you all for coming along for another episode of the NLBC News. Look forwards to our weekly news shows every Saturday, found here on this channel. Thank you all for watching, and remember that toast never lands butter side down, and you too can save 15% on your car insurance by switching to Geico.